What's going on, guys? We are back for another pushing video on my main account here, and we're starting off with the Hydra strategy. Still, I'm crushing it with the strategy. I see no reason to change, and I'm really loving it. So we're going to use the Dragon Duke's rocket backpack, not magic backpack, rocket backpack, and the giant arrow and the 2 earthquake spells, and we're going to take out that center compartment. I would have thought I would have gotten the revenge tower there, but it must have gotten healed up by those builders quick enough to not be taken down. A little unfortunate, but I think we can still power through it. We're going to use the Warden ability early here because we're coming into a high DPS section and just push through this area. Now the Dragon Duke is pushing on the top side from 12 to 3, and the troops are kind of working their way that direction as well. Now, I used a rage on the backside here to try and get my troops through a little bit of the area, and it worked out. They're going to end up taking out that backside spitter, which is nice. And I'm going to overgrowth this compartment over here just to keep some of my troops over here alive and help the Dragon Duke path straight towards this monolith, because that's going to be the biggest defense against him. Now, as the minion prince gets taken down, I revive the Dragon Duke so he can take out that monolith. And at this point, there's not much left in the base. We should be able to pick up the triple. The overgrowth wears off. Luckily for me, that spitter is now pointed the wrong way and can basically do no damage. I'll fast forward from here, but as you can see, I had a poison spell left over. I'm really bad at using the poison. I might switch it out because I have it for the CC, but I almost always take out the CC with that trick in the beginning. So I don't know. Starting off in the second attack, these bases are becoming a lot more common, and they're kind of frustrating to hit with my attack strategy because you have to send the queen in from a weird angle. As you can see, I do that here, use the 2 earthquakes, and take out a really good portion of the base. I got 2 spell towers and the CC, which is a huge bonus, and the Dragon Duke down on the bottom is going to go and target right away that long shot. Now he's going to go down because he's kind of out by himself. And then I'm going to place my dragons and dragon riders down here at the bottom. They're going to sweep around the bottom and move up towards that top section area. Once they kind of move through this area, I'll revive the Dragon Duke. I don't want to revive him while everything's in the area because his passive won't go off. I use the Warden ability to re-heal all the troops on the damage they took on the way in. And now I'm going to use a rage to push through this section of the base. And then I should be dropping my overgrowth on the backside there. Now, the Overgrowth Spell is key for me in this strategy, and 2 things I'm looking for. The first thing is sweepers. If there's a sweeper pointed against you, definitely use the Overgrowth for the sweeper as soon as your troops get in range so that they can push through, get behind the sweeper, and take it out from the backside. The second one would be like fire spitters, the monolith, or other hard-hitting defenses that your troops may path around or not straight to. Use it so that I can take them out later in the base, especially the fire spitter. It's awesome to come at those things from the backside once you've overgrowth them. So moving on to the third attack here, another diamond base, and we're going to try and shoot out that CC. They do a good job here though, and more bases are becoming like this at the top side where there's not a single storage or thing that I can use to shoot out the CC, and I actually messed up. I totally whiffed on my queen ability at the beginning, and I shoot it late here with the 2 earthquake spells. I mean, basically that did absolutely nothing. The good thing with this strategy is I already set a good funnel. It took out the bottom corner of the base so that my troops can really path from the 6 to 9 o'clock area. They're going to go up towards 12 and then back towards 3. So as they move in, I'll use the Grand Warden's Eternal Tome to go ahead and heal all those troops up upon entry. And again, I'm using that overgrowth on that back end sweeper so that it stops pushing my troops back as they're working through this section of the base. I revive the Dragon Duke. He's going to work through that top right side, and there's not much over there, so he's going to be able to take it all out. Now the great thing is my troops have pathed straight into the town hall, taking out that little area. And now they're going to turn, once the overgrowth wears off, and attack these last defenses in the core. I'm going to use my Minion Prince's magic orb, dark orb, to freeze up all the defenses just to help take out the rest of the base. But as you can see, I still have a revive spell. I'm just going to use it on the queen to help speed up the process, but this attack typically takes like a minute and 30 seconds and it's done. So you really don't need to do that, but just used it because otherwise I was just going to waste it and wanted to make sure I got the triple. Heading into the final attack here, and we've got one of these box bases. So I'm going to go ahead and try and shoot out the CC with the Dragon Duke ability. There's not really a good angle for this. So I'm going to try and put it on this mortar and just shoot across. And I miss just slightly, and then I use the Dragon Duke. Unfortunately, I'm going to use my 2 Earthquakes, and it's not going to take down that CC, which is going to be a problem. So my troops are going to funnel on the top side. I'm going to use my Dragon Riders from the bottom here. And unfortunately, my Dragon Duke passed right into that Monolith. The Monolith is the biggest problem for him. He goes up against the Monolith, he dies pretty quickly. Everything else he can sustain pretty well. So I revive him to try and get through that Monolith. I use a Totem spell, but he just can't get through that section quick enough, and he gets taken down again. I use my Grand Warden's Eternal Tome while this Rage Tower section is hurting us. And I'm going to go ahead and use our Rage as well to get through that little area. I use the Minion Prince's Dark Orb. I was right the first time. Dark Orb. And it did a good freeze, and I ended up using the Overgrowth in the back end of the base to try and funnel my Dragon Duke towards the core, but as you can see with this attack fizzling out, I think I one-starred here. I had one fail on the day, and this is going to be it. Just a 1-star. I wanted to show it because I do fail every once in a while, and really it was just a terrible entry. Totally missed the giant arrow, didn't take out the CC, and it wrecked me in the end. That's it for today's video. As you can see, I went plus 293. Pretty good day, just that one fail. See you tomorrow.